man, say, man, what it do, still with the camp. Sound like a little big boss dog. Boss dog can't poke through the door, here to talk to his boxing. Talking about solidity, tough times don't last. People doing enough. So, call them in if I like me, man. A peak game, man, for us swing. Alright, so, Erickson Lubin, Vergil Ortiz, finally do a press conference. These two are going to be fighting. Erickson Lubin is a battle vet. And by the way, let me stop. We cluster, you know what we're talking about. It's a battle tested vet. This is a good test for Vergil Ortiz. This will give him some recognition. And for Erickson Lubin, this will kind of put him over the hump. But Erickson Lubin kind of been fighting these kind of fights for a while now. You know, I think he's starting to feel disrespected. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you look at a fighter like Erickson Lubin, he's been around for a while. You know what I'm saying? He's out of that Errol Spence Olympic clan. You know what I mean? I think at one point in the amateurs, Errol Spence and Erickson Lubin were looked at as the top fighters coming out the amateurs, right? So, back in the day. So, Erickson Lubin is an older fighter, very talented fighter, power in both hands, southpaw. And then you got Vergil Ortiz, undefeated fighter, right? Gritty, tough, you know what I mean? Volume, puncher, come forward fighter, right? Who got power. So it's a good clash on styles, you know what I'm saying? Very interested to see how each fighter handles each other. Pause. You know what I mean? Erickson Lubin can box, but Vergil Ortiz can box as well. You saw a little bit of that in the Boychuk fight. So I think this fight is not getting enough praise as it should be. If this was like 10 years ago, this would be one of the most talked about fights in boxing. You know, back 10 years ago, I think Floyd still was boxing. So, but I'm just saying, like, this would be one of the most talked about fights. This will be looked at as like the fight, you know what I'm saying? Whereas now, you know, people don't really be impressed with fights like this. They more impressed with the, you know, the foolish fights, the Jake Paul stuff. And boxing's just different now, man. It's a different crowd, different type of people. You know, it's not what it once was. You know what I mean? Back in like between 2010 and 2018, boxing was good. You know what I mean? And then after that, it's just like it started. Now in the 2020s, it's trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. Promoters trash. A lot of promoters are lazy. You know, it's just the development of fighters. It's just bad. You know what I mean? But to get back on topic, I don't feel like this fight is getting enough eyes as it should be. You know what I mean? A lot of people are writing Erickson Lubin off. I'm here to tell you, like, I'm not writing him off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Erickson Lubin can beat Vergil Ortiz. It's a tough fight for both guys. I'm not gonna count. You know what I mean? It's a tough fight for both guys. It's not an easy, you know, it's not easy for one guy. I'm sorry. I think this is a tough fight for both guys, but I do think Erickson Lubin can win this fight. I'm actually picking Erickson Lubin to win this fight. I could be wrong, right? If Erickson Lubin do what I think he's gonna do, which is a lot of what he did in the Ramos fight, box, right? Box. Use his jab, keep that jab working. You know what I mean? Use that jab, keep it in Vergil Ortiz's face. You know what I mean? And box. Box off the back foot. Box coming forward, right? Use a little lateral movement, right? I think he can beat Vergil Ortiz. Now, Vergil Ortiz can win this fight as well. I told y'all, this is a tough fight. I think Vergil Ortiz can hurt Erickson Lubin. You know what I mean? It's one of them fights. You know? But I think Erickson Lubin can hurt Vergil Ortiz as well. Y'all forget Erickson Lubin got power. You know what I mean? So this is one of them fights. You know, this is a fight where we're gonna see if Vergil Ortiz belongs in that top tier, right? Or is he just kind of a middle of the road guy that's just tough? You know what I mean? I like Vergil Ortiz as a fighter. Pause. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's great for boxing. you know. And I think that, you know, he has the potential. Even if he loses this fight, this doesn't define his career. It doesn't mean that, you know, his career is over. He can very well be a champion. You know what I mean? You know, as a matter of fact, I encourage him, like, after this fight, if he was to lose this fight, to stay at 54. Because there's so much talent. Bro, you've seen so many fighters at 54, they lose and they back in the fold. Look at Erickson Lubin. He's a prime example. He lost to Charlo, he was back in the fold. Right? Now, granted, I don't think he got another title opportunity. He's been fighting, like, contender statuses, you know what I mean, for the longest, you know. But he, you know, he very well could get an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to get an opportunity to fight for a championship again, you know. I think this is a WBC title limit, if I'm not mistaken. I think. I'm not sure. I think this is a WBC title limiter. Erickson Lubin is mandatory for Bakram Murtasalo's belt, though, too. So I don't know if this will knock him down, pause. I don't know in the rankings with the IBF, you know. But this is a very good fight. Like, this is boxing, people. This is what I be talking about with the fights that I want to see. I want to see fights like this, right? We're tired of seeing mediocrity in boxing. We want to see great fights. You know what I mean? And that's why I tell you, like, that's why I wish, like, Terence Crawford would have stayed at 54. Because 54, man, bro, Terence Crawford versus Vergil Ortiz, what? Terence Crawford versus, like, Erickson Lubin, Sebastian, those are good fights, bro. You know what I mean? Like, when you, and this is the thing, like, when you talk about stuff like this, the fans, you know, the Bud Booty Wars will be like, oh, what is called? He's not going to get the money. It's not, bro, it's not about the money. It's about putting on good fights, right? Crawford, one thing about him, his resume, and I'm sorry I got to bring him up, his resume lacks, bro. He got 2 names on his resume, Errol Spence, Canelo, right? That's it. So it's like, your resume is lacking. Let's go rack this up. Let's run it up. Let's run through these names like diarrhea. Pause. You know? 154 is cracking, bro. Like, you could take a loss and still come back and take over the division. Look at Jermell Charlo. He lost to Tony Harrison. Right? He fought Jorge Cota, sparked him, came back, beat Tony Harrison, then took over the division. Beat Jason Rosario. Right? Then beat Brian Castano, undisputed. Right? Now, granted, it took him the second fight, but like I say, man, he did exactly what in the world? Hey, man, these boys in Texas be doing some fast and furious stuff, man. Be careful driving down here. But all I'm saying at the end of the day, keep it 1,000. I'm keeping the tree. I'm coming down. I'm working with Willis. This. It's great boxing, bro. We want great boxing. We want great fights in the sport of boxing, right? Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Boss gone.